Alright, so I finally completed the build. Um, Before I was using this shield and I would swap between these two. Now if I have this equipped, then I can't put the other seal in my hand, the Fire Knight seal. See, I'm heavy right now, but if I switch shields, I'm medium load. The difference this makes when using the Mesmer incantation, 300 total damage, so it's worthwhile to have that in your offhand when you're casting the Mesmer fire incantations. I'm using only 2 of them, but I'm just goofing now. Early on, you could probably get away with not using it. Later on, you might want to use it, but I haven't found it necessary. What did we get? I ended up getting all the Mesmer spells. This one sucks. Don't ever use it until they fix it. You hit for like 10 damage. The only thing I found it good for is fighting ogres, but I mean, there's way quicker, easier, better methods. This spell slaps, and this one definitely slaps. So the way I feel about it is, if they're coming in close, this gives iframes to some degree from what I've noticed. It costs 1 more FP than using the big giant fireball. So when they're in close, just go ahead and switch to this. It makes sense. And when they're further away, swap to this. For all big dragons, heavily armored things, big enemies, we're going to be using the pest thread spears. Before I was just using the normal pest threads. This thing does, I don't know, it does significant amount damage more, probably closer to 1,000 or more than this one when charged. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm just going to play and be lazy and play. Totally was not expecting this boss, but whatever. He got me kind of midair with that thing that he does. Not a big deal. I mean, This spell's gonna obliterate these guys, but just so you can see, I mean, it's pretty devastating, and you can kind of steer it. It's got good range. I would say like short to medium range is the best. Don't try and do it long. It's just not gonna work out well. You might get lucky and hit them with a blast, but charged heavy, throws your spear. It ain't even got to be a charged. It can just be a heavy attack, throws it. But if you want good damage, you want to charge it. And that little burst of fire at the end, it's great for popping shields. The magma blade is gonna totally destroy this dude. So if you time that right, maybe not so much on those guys, but if you time that right, you don't take any damage and you do massive damage to whatever it is that you're fighting. I'll try and do it again. I don't know that I'll be super successful. So running R2 is pretty nice. The rolling R1 is really nice with this. I don't know if I showed it yet, but a quick look at my stats. Um, the difference between 69 and 70 using this seal is one incantation scaling point. Doesn't even matter. The reason I chose to go that way is so I could put the extra point and get 40 dex, because this will give me max casting speed now. Radagon's icon and the 40 dex. Those dudes are so annoying. There we go, I'll go do that. So, in order to get the Mesmer's Orb, you got to defeat Mesmer. With this build, I made it such that you can. Mesmer's pretty immune to fire damage. So, what I had to do is switch to lightning damage, is what I ended up switching to. So, I swapped some of my talismans to where I would end up with enough to one hand the spear. And I used this shield here. And all I did was block with the shield for all his attacks, basically, or dodge them. And then when there was an opening, I would hit him with the Bolt of Grand Sax. And it did roughly like 3,800 damage every time. And I mean, I beat him within a minute. Same thing goes if stuff that is immune to, fire, that's got good resistance to lightning, whatever, like you can switch to a holy weapon. So I ended up getting, what do I got? I haven't leveled it up or had a need to use it, but the Inseparable Sword, Sacred Relic Sword, it's all going to scale with Dex and Faith. And this I could easily switch to. I already meet the strength requirement. So if you know you're going to be facing a bunch of enemies at once, it would be smart of you to switch to this weapon. Use the weapon art, clear the whole room in one shot. For like Deathrite birds and stuff like that, switch to the Inseparable Sword. When it does Sacred Blade, it slaps. Not to mention, whenever you kill something undead, I mean, it doesn't come back. No need to hit it a second time. At the range with the spear is good. It's got pretty good tracking, pretty good distance. It charges quick. The further away you are, the less damage it does. The perfumed oil of Rana is pretty awesome. It scales with Dex, just to show. It gets an A in Dex, so we're sitting pretty nice with the damage that it provides. All around, good build. If I want to do more fire damage to a certain thing, hit it with an oil pot. You're doing 50% more fire damage on that next fire damage shot. So it doesn't matter what I hit with, because everything I have does fire damage. The Flask of Wondrous Physic, I'm boosting my fire damage attacks. And with the oil soaked tear, you're coating things in oil in a that's close to you, I would say within melee distance. Constantly for like 30 seconds or whatever, however long it lasts. So that provides another 20% on top of, if I use this, now I'm doing 70% more on my next attacks. Like, it's so good. It synergizes really well. The next time there's a scenario or a case for it, I'll use the weapon art. For AoE. And it has no problem clearing stuff out. Oop. Almost messed up there. So I haven't messed with any of the new pots. Um, I mean, I could craft more of these. I just don't want to junk up my stuff. I want to be able to farm more of those. You just throw them and little fire jumps around in an area. It's pretty cool. I don't know how effective it'll be yet. Something I want to do is get the Fire Knight's Greatsword and mess with that and some of the newer Ashes of War. I haven't really seen a whole lot, to be honest. Other consumables to use. Nothing else really makes sense to me. But now that I got this one complete, this build, I already want to go and make my other build that I've been theory crafting for a while. There's so much in the game now that allows you to do it and do it well. It makes sense to make that build now. It'll be a intelligence, faith, and strength build. I'm going to take my faith to 47, my intelligence to 42, and my strength to 29. And we're going to use the new death sorceries. We're going to use all the black flame incantations. And the idea behind it is going to be it's a proc frostbite, use black flame to get rid of it, and then we're going to reapply it with the sorceries again. And to help our sorceries out, we're also going to use the help in steeple, which is excellent at proccing frostbite. So I'm excited to see how that all works out. There's a new consumable. I'll use it on this guy real quick. Right here, Call of Tibia. If you throw it, wherever it lands, that's where it'll spawn a skeleton, and it'll do 3 pretty strong attacks. And then it'll disappear. So it's kind of like the Lich is calling his little minions, you know? I'll be using things like the Tibia Summon spell. It's going to be fun. The Horn Scent new item, the Horn Barn or whatever it is, that gives you... what is it? It's like Affinity from Dark Souls 2. I mean, I know that this is early game, but even when I had like plus nothing weapons, this build really performed well. And I've got a bunch of clips that I'm going to put together from this playthrough. And it'll be something nice to watch. I got a bunch of pretty sweet boss kills. I'm pretty excited. So that's something cool too, is like you can free aim. It's nice. Like, I'm not going to do great damage with it, but I'm going to try and free aim and see if I can hit this dude. Nope, don't have the distance. Go knock this guy out pretty quick. Dang, that wasn't even fair. So you see that hit for 1213. Where is it? Right here. It gets even crazier when we have all our buffs and stuff on too. I didn't even connect with the whole shit. I just connected with the first part. I don't know how I'll do against this guy, but I'll fight him. I suck at these guys.
Well, divorce.
I feel like those dudes are way overtuned. Way overtuned. They're a badass enemy, though. I like them. I just think they hit for way too much. Next, Deathrite Bird. Um, hmm. Screw it. I'm just gonna fight him how I am. I would change. If I have problems, I'll change to Holy Sword, but I don't think I'll have any problems. Those guys are assholes. I'll go to the place that nobody likes. These creepy ass woods. Pretty unfortunate that he did the same move like 5 times in a fucking row is what gets me. Whatever though. Spell's pretty damn effective. I feel like in that new Madness area in the DLC, they should have put these guys in there for sure. I think this is like a shield or something. Nope, practical. It's a pretty good spell. I don't think there's any intelligence requirement on it. I could be wrong though. Yeah, this is the good one. That's faith only. Radagon's Rings of Light, I think, is the other one And it's good, but that intelligence requirement is what kills it for builds. Alright, that out the way. Let's go here. I know there is a shield down here somewhere. I don't have the patience to go look for it. I don't remember. And it's not one that I would use ever anyways. I don't really remember what to expect in this place. Or a lot of these places anymore. I just haven't played in so long. So I guess that's one thing I can say about this is unless they're directly in front of the door, you're not throwing the spear like at an angle through here. It just blows up right at the door. Those ones that I'm hitting them with just recent that didn't kill them in one shot, that's because I didn't charge them. I think it's set to where it only does a percentage type base damage, unless of course you charge it and then it's more. Here. It's a short cave if I remember right. I'll have to go to another cave to beat him. Not quite worried about it. Well, that weapon art doesn't work great there. Tell you what I'll do. I am gonna go grab my souls, and I am going to show you what I would do if I was struggling. Go hit this site of grace, wherever it is over here. Should be around here, on the other side of this mountain. Should be right over here. Um, so I thought I grabbed a thing to make holy pots, but I didn't. There's even bigger holy pots you can get. I just don't have them currently. So I'll just use whatever I got. Back up here. Ancient Snow Valley. Good Lord. What is going on? I hit him with the second one, but it didn't do hardly any damage. Next time, I guess. Bro, what is going on with this crazy ass frostbite? Oh, this is kind of a joke right now. There we go. You see how much more damage that shit does to him, though? Like, so much more damage. Then when things like that are dead, just switch back to my shit. Where else? Let's go here. I think I had enough. Hopefully you saw what the build's capable of. I mean, even switching to the lightning shit, I mean, you're just going to obliterate everything. You can run into some unfortunate shit, but nothing you can't beat. I just kind of showed that with that Deathrite bird. That dude's ridiculous. But, yeah. Hopefully you give the build a try. I'm using Rykard's rune. It makes sense. Every time you kill something, you get some HP back. It's nice. That way you can get rid of some of your red flasks and put them more in the blue. If you're doing the PvE thing. If not, this is the setup I like for PvP, invasions and whatnot. It's pretty damn good. So give it a shot, and I'll see you guys on the next one.